I'm doing what I'm doing because I believe that that's what God wants me to be doing. And I do enjoy that because I believe that. I do like it as well.
I just feel that that's what the Lord has led us to and has continued to lead us in. And I want to be wherever He wants me to be. That's where I want to be. And right now, that's here. Well, for me, a lot of mine was my upbringing. I was raised in a strong Christian family. My grandmother was very involved in uh, reading about missions, praying for missions. So I always heard some from her. And when I was 13, for my birthday that year, she gave me a little thin book that I still own. And it was called Missionary Love Stories. And it was short stories of people who were following the Lord and pursuing Him, and how they met each other and how their journey led them as a couple then into missions and what happened to them. And it made a drastic impact on me because I didn't personally know any missionaries, and I kind of thought they were super spiritual or very different than other people. And so that book had an impact on me. I continued to grow in the Lord, learn more about Him. Randy and I were married. We were involved in a very foundational church. We had our children, and life was just going along with us being involved in ministries and things like that in our church. And I'll let Randy take it from there.
So I never really viewed it as God calling us to missions, because though when missionaries came, my heart was tugged at and I enjoyed hearing them, I never thought that that would be something I did, because I was growing up on a ranch. My dad was preparing for us all, whoever wanted to be on the ranch, to do that. Things changed when my dad died at 40 years old, a young age, and our world was splintered and we were suddenly not going to be ranching anymore. And so being involved in good churches, growing through that time is just drawing closer to the Lord, learning, serving Him. Still didn't think about missions, but got injured in 1990. Through that long time of being laid up for 9 months, got close to the Lord, reading His Word, getting to know Him more, understanding what He cared about, I think helped shape what I was supposed to be caring about. And so I got restless, I think, at my job. Not that that was a bad job, it was actually a good job. And so I wanted to be doing something more full-time for the Lord. So that's what kept moving me on. About the time we were getting kind of complacent again and back into work, we were renting a house, and the owner said, "I'm going to sell my house. Do you want to buy it?" And I said, "We can't buy it." And he said, "Well, then you're going to have to move out." Halfway through that summer, we kind of just looked at each other. We'd been accepted to a Bible school and said, "You know what? Can't find a place to live. We might as well just go on to Bible school." We had a heart to do that. We were searching. I guess maybe that's what God wants us to do. So that's the direction we headed. And it was actually in Bible school where we got challenged into missions, because in the missions class they told us about unreached people groups, people who had never had the opportunity to hear about Jesus. And we thought, what? We thought the missionaries of the 1800s, the great missionaries around the world, had evangelized the earth. And no, that wasn't the case. They had reached out into parts of the earth, but there were so many people groups that have never heard. And so as we prayed about it, talked about it, it's like, you know what? I think that we should get involved in what God's doing, and this seems to be the path that He brought us. Let's just continue in that path. That's how we ended up in missions.
I think, like anybody else, there are days where you get up and you're just going to your job, kind of thing. You're just doing it because that's what you do. I think where it becomes fresh and new to us, or to me specifically, is especially when I am either talking to students that we have and I'm listening to their stories of how God has brought them here and their excitement of being trained and headed out to be able to reach people. And then we also get to interact with students that we have had that are now missionaries, and that is just so exciting to see how God has been using them, and we have a part of that. And so that always renews my excitement and energy for the job at hand, whatever that is.
I think everyone should understand, first of all, that missionaries are not superhuman. That means that we have struggles, we have ups and downs, we have dry spells, we have all those things. But I also, like Laura, have been recharged and might say have the vision renewed within my heart of what God is doing by going to some of these foreign places, different countries, Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, Africa, wherever it might be, to help and get to see what is actually going on there. And then any believer that's walking with the Lord, like these students are coming in, like Laura said, that is just trusting the Lord, and maybe it's a baby step, maybe it's a big step, whatever, but they're believing God for who He is and what He can do in their lives. And hey, that's always encouraging.